Guys, what is up? Welcome back to the Terrier Owner YouTube channel. Josh here with TerrierOwner.com. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Today's Sunday's video is going to be all about obedience training with your Jack Russell Terriers. So if you're new to owning a Jack Russell and you need that kind of help, this video is for you. And that's what this channel is all about, is helping new Jack Russell Terrier owners or Terrier owners in general learn how to do everything with these dogs, learn how to care for them, and just have fun watching some videos in the process. So if that interests you, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up on the video because YouTube loves when you do that. Leave us some comments down below on the kind of videos you want to see in the future. And for now, let's go ahead and dive into today's video about obedience training a Jack Russell Terrier. We're starting right now. So typically, guys, when it comes to obedience training with one of these Jack Russells, the question typically is, where do you even begin, or what do you even do? And the easiest way to answer that is the training of all forms needs to begin right away, right when you get home. The sooner, the better. The day of the adoption, the better. That goes with socialization, but of course, it goes with discipline and obedience training too. You don't want to be teaching a Jack Russell Terrier right off the bat that nipping your hand with those sharp puppy teeth is a playful thing to do, that you enjoy it, or that you're going to reward it. Now is the time to start pounding into their little puppy noggins that there is a different behavior that you want to take place, and they are willing to learn if you put in the time, give them those commands, and replace that behavior. And yes, I understand that it is difficult with a ton of the discipline, a ton of the training. It takes time, that's understandable, but mainly just answering the question of where do you begin, or when do you begin right away, and start simple. You don't have to get crazy with it when they're a puppy. They're still learning their new environment. They're probably sleeping a lot, that kind of thing, but still begin it. And most of the time, guys, what you want to do is just begin with, simple dominance of the relationship, making sure that they understand that, you're the alpha out of the two, making sure that you do stop things like nipping, making sure that you're taking them outside to go potty and giving them rewards when doing it correctly. When dogs get rewards, that is the obedience training already taking place, whether you realize it or not, because rewards to them signal something that they want to repeat. And when they want to repeat it, your goal is obviously to pick those behaviors that you want to reward. So if they're nipping your hand, an example would be replacing that with a toy. Once they actually take the toy and begin chewing on that, then comes the reward. So just making sure that we're clear on obedience training and when it's actually taking place. That's it. It's already happening. But for the most part, guys, the general consensus with obedience training is 4 basic commands that you're going to want to teach them. And I mean, she's not even an expert with these commands. She's really good with sit, and she will stay if you tell her to stay. But the 4 basic commands that people typically teach their dogs right away are sit, lay down, come, and stay. Those are the 4. So what I would do if I were you and I had a new Jack Russell Terrier at home is just work on those 4. I would use something like clicker training, which we'll make another entire video about that. But clicker training has always been the most effective for me personally because it creates an audible noise for them to hear. They get the reward, and you can create this sequence of events. So command performed, click, treat. It creates something extremely easy for them to tie together that they're doing something right, which makes the entire process much easier for them to understand. So outside of socializing them and potty training, I would start with those 4 tricks, commands. I don't even think that those are considered tricks anymore. Those are just the basics that dogs should know. I would start with those because they're the most beneficial. Sit's more of like a show-off trick, but come and stay are huge. When it comes to the potential of like your Jack Russell taking off or running away, having that recall type training can be really beneficial to get them to come back to you. So if you're busy, I would start with things like 15-20 minutes a day. Clicker train, work on those 4 tricks, give them some treats, give them some rewards, and then keep doing it, because the next biggest tip I have for you with obedience training, guys, is consistency is key. So don't think that you can do it on a Saturday because you have a few hours free and then you're done. It would be better for you to just create 10 minutes every day. 10 minutes every day is better than several hours for 1 or 2 days. The consistency is how these dogs learn, and they do learn very fast and are definitely willing to partake in that training with you if you have the time. So build a routine, become consistent with it, You need to remain disciplined with it and just keep going until you feel that they have it down pretty well. Personally, even once they have it down, when you have time, I would still work on certain things, whether that's new tricks, new training, or the same ones. Just keep always cementing those into their head. I mean, my older dog used to be able to do all of these tricks when he was young, but it's almost like we didn't work on it for a few years, and he still knows them, but he's just not crisp with them anymore. He doesn't do them, like if he's occupied doing something else or already interested in something in the backyard, he no longer responds quite as well as he used to. So another tip I have for you with obedience training is keep doing it as often as possible, even though you understand that they know it. Just keep going. Don't stop, and eventually it's just going to be muscle memory and you'll have full control over a lot of situations if they're that trained and that obedient towards you. Another thing to keep in mind with these dogs that I just mentioned a minute ago, guys, is don't be fooled by their intelligence. And don't think that that's going to take you the distance with obedience training, because it's actually the opposite. If you don't put any time and effort in with these guys, they're going to rule your world. They'll own you, basically, and they will do not necessarily everything they want, but they are smart enough to figure out ways to get away with things, and they will push the boundaries quite a bit. So while they're probably one of the smartest dog breeds and best ones you can adopt, don't be misled thinking that just because they're smart, this is going to be easy and you can stop. Because when you think that you're good to go with these guys is exactly when they figure out something to do that you probably don't want them to do. So keep an eye on them, keep working with them, and don't stop that obedience training, and you'll likely have better results. Another thing, guys, that I want to emphasize with any kind of training, whether it's potty training, obedience training, socialization, it doesn't really matter, is the power of rewards with these dogs. She got to the point with that tethering inside for the potty training that I think she was peeing or just going into the position to pee even when she didn't really have to, because I was giving her treats so often for doing it, because I was trying to cement that behavior into her to potty outside. So that's an example of how powerful positive reinforcement and treats and rewards can be for these dogs, and how much they desire to please you as the owner to reach those benefits. So use that to your advantage. Get them to do what you want them to do. Replace bad behaviors with desired behaviors and reward them. Let them know and show them some affection for doing it with praise, or however you want to do it. You can do a loud squeaky voice and tell them how much you love them, or rub their belly. You can give them a treat, pat them on the back and walk away. Whatever you want to do, do it, but make sure that if it was you trying to be taught something, that you would understand from their perspective that they did a good thing and that they deserve that reward. And guys, we will have a completely separate video going over some of these tricks. It really wasn't a video that we would have time to, dive into the actual mechanics of how you can do clicker training, etc. But leave us some comments down below about how you went through obedience training with your Jack Russell. This is a community, guys. Any comments other people read, it helps everybody out. So drop those comments. Give us a thumbs up on this video if it helped you out at all. Be sure, if you're not subscribed to the channel, to subscribe to the channel right now, because Luna here would love that. I would love that. And hit that notification bell so you're notified every Tuesday and Sunday when the new videos do come out. And guys, the URL going across the bottom of the screen, don't ever forget to head over to terrierowner.com. That helps us just as much as the thumbs up on the YouTube channel. When you head over there on your browser by typing in terrierowner.com, it makes other terrier owners find us on Google. So head over there, check out all the blog posts about Jack Russells or whatever terrier you happen to own. Otherwise, guys, we will see you on Tuesday. Thank you for stopping by. We wish you happy holidays. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Belly web.